Hello there, and welcome back to a Star Wars story. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to let YouTube know that the Force is strong with this channel. This video is a response video to our Kathleen Kennedy topic. The comment section was overwhelmed and inundated with deliberate misinformation, falsehoods, and flat-out lies, which is always a shame, incredibly disgusting, and just continues to expand a minority of the echo chamber, because I want to point this out very clearly to anyone dipping their toes into Star Wars and coming into this fandom. That is not the Star Wars fandom. That is radicalized incel communities built around echo chambers of people that they watch. Completely, frankly, facts are ineffective to them. Facts do not matter. But here's the thing. Truth is not an opinion. There is actual legitimate facts, and then there's the fantasies that are stirred up to create controversy, to generate clicks and radicalize male individuals against women. And that's what's happening, and that's what's on full display. So this video is meant as a very quick, flat response. And it is about the topic of the Force is female and the purported Lucasfilm campaign that was the Force is female. This is a very simple bit of information to clear up. It doesn't take that much. The Force is female was a Nike ad campaign that began at the tail end of 2016. And in terms of marketing, which just goes to show how out of touch individuals are in terms of what goes on in the business, ad campaigns are in production 12 to 18 months prior to their actual launch. Ad campaigns are not something that are started up suddenly and are started up without any wherewithal or thought put into them. These campaigns take time. They are manufactured. It is a part of a very thorough business in terms of focus testing, in terms of audience retention, who they're aiming it for. In this case, the Force is female is tied into Nike's Air Force shoes, which Nike purports to be the greatest sneaker ever made. Now, that is, of course, subjective. If you like other shoes, that's fine. That's really not the topic of this channel. We're not evolving into a shoe channel. But it is important to point out, and I'm going to say this again for everybody, the Force is female was a Nike ad campaign that was in development for up to 18 months before launching at the end of 2016. The earliest material and the earliest shirts that went out were literally at the very end. In terms of what I could gather with influencers, and in terms of searching up influencers and throughout Instagram and going through the Wayback Machine, it was very, very late November. That was the earliest one I could find of 2016. So the material was already getting out there, and the Force is Female Nike campaign was widely known. Kathleen Kennedy and her husband Frank Marshall have a very healthy relationship with Nike. Whenever Nike has done an ad campaign, they have many times over been seen wearing their material. So this would not have been the first time. In this specific case, there were two instances where Kathleen Kennedy was photographed wearing a Force is Female shirt. One was at the very public display in the big Nike Force is Female event that was meant to attract female viewership and female retention and a female audience to get them into the shoe. And the second was at a girls' theater competition, a girls' theater film competition, festival. Those two instances were where Kathleen Kennedy wore the shirts. Both instances were one of the sponsors. Obviously, the Nike event was sponsored by Nike, and one of the sponsors of the festival was also Nike. Kathleen Kennedy and a number of the girls wore the shirts on stage, again, as part of a Nike campaign. This stirred up an unbelievable amount of frankly fabricated controversy. This is all made up. There's no way this actually upset the people who first reported on this. I'm sorry, I can't imagine it. And that's a topic for never. As it is, though, the manufactured controversy was that Kathleen Kennedy and her cohorts and these little girls, because there were people who were trying to identify the little girls when I was doing research for this video, which is terrifying. Again, whole other conversation into what these grifters are creating. They are creating monsters. They're creating men that are horrific monsters. I want to be very clear on that. Ultimately, it was fabricated into a Forces Female Star Wars Lucasfilm campaign where Kathleen Kennedy was making people wear the shirt. I mean, I read all kinds of crazy nonsense. None of it's true. Absolutely none of it is true. It begins and ends with Nike. Legitimately, that's it. It was an ad campaign that lasted for a little over a year, and when it ended, it was never heard from again. There was nothing else to it. The only last thing is Kathleen Kennedy, because, and again, I saw this in the comments, and they love using it. Kathleen Kennedy gave a keynote speech at the Girls Film Festival, and in that speech, she ended her keynote speech with the Forces Female slogan. The shirt she was wearing, the shirt the other girls on the stage were wearing, that's how she ended her keynote speech. It was never about Star Wars. It was about promoting girls in film and then promoting, again, these shoes for women. That's it. That's all there was to it. A festival that has been going on for years, used the Nike slogan. Again, there is nothing else to it. There is no grand conspiracy. This is the simple, factual truth. It is not something that can be debated. It is not a whataboutism. It is not up to you to determine what the truth is. This is the factual truth, and nothing else will be accepted. As always, and as we moderate this channel, anyone who continues to deliberately spread or falsify information or deliberately assaults or attacks or verbally abuses women creators or women in the fandom, the ban hammer will come down very, very swiftly. It is more powerful than you can possibly imagine. But we're going to deal in facts here, and we're going to deal in celebrating, and we're going to stop the grift. Thank you so much for watching. Above all else, and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and remember that the Force will be with you always.